Hello YouTube and welcome to another GV anime review. Today I am reviewing an anime that just ended yesterday, and that's Hibike Euphonium. I watched the last episode past night and I stayed up late to write this review especially for you guys. So let's see what my thoughts were on this anime. The story of Hibike Euphonium centers around Kumiko Omai, a girl who has been playing the euphonium for a very long time and who just enters high school. She isn't planning on joining the high school's concert band, but influenced by her newly formed friends, Hazuki and Midori, she eventually decides to join. There she meets Reina Kosaka, a trumpet player who was in the middle school's concert band together with Kumiko. Their relationship isn't super because of something that happened during their last contest. The first thing that immediately caught my attention was the animation in Hibike. I love this kind of sharp and precise animation. Especially the instruments were beautifully animated. And that's no wonder if you know that the big music company Yamaha supported this anime and made sure that the animation of all the instruments was perfect. Because Hibike centers around music, I of course have to give my opinion about the music. And with me, you can't go wrong with classical music. Even though concert band music isn't my favorite amongst the classical music genres. But the music was really good in this anime, and the nicest surprise for me came at the very end. The makers of this anime did the effort to compose a concert band version of the opening song Dream Solaster. To me, that's clear proof of how dedicated this crew was with this anime. A last positive point that blew me off my chair were the lesbian undertones in this anime. The possible lesbian relationship between Kumiko and Kosaka was the most interesting thing in this anime, and especially the way it was portrayed here. We all know how lesbian relationships usually are portrayed in anime, but Hibike was different. This wasn't what it usually is, it was portrayed like it has to be portrayed. It is then also a real shame that they didn't went further with this. I would have loved to see how their relationship would have developed, because it was something different. But unfortunately the anime doesn't do that. It stays at undertones, we never get to see the relationship moving forward. The story of Hibike was mildly interesting. The concert band trying to get into the nationals is kind of a predictable story. I thought that the anime would concentrate on the messed up relationship between Kumiko and Kosaka, but that story gets resolved in the first few episodes, so that was a missed chance there. Also, the ending of the anime was very predictable. A little bit more creativity there wouldn't have done harm. A last negative point was that the two friends of Kumiko, Hazuki and Midori, didn't add much to the storyline, even though they are two main characters. They could have been a lot more involved in the main storyline. At a certain point, there seems to be a side story resolving around Hazuki being created, but that gets pushed to the side really fast. And Midori? I don't know where she comes into play in this anime. Without her, we would have had the exact same storyline. So as a conclusion, Hibike missed a lot of chances to become interesting. We had the messed up relationship between Kumiko and Kosaka, the actual relationship between them, the Hazuki side story, the side story resolving around Aoi, which I didn't even mention yet, and several other things. All missed chance in my eyes. And like that, the anime ended up being very stereotypical for this kind of anime. That's why I'm going to rate Hibike Euphonium at 3 out of 5 stars. Luckily, there was always the nice animation to keep this anime interesting to me. And with that, I conclude my review of Hibike Euphonium. As usual, you can find a full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put a link in the description box down below. Now if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put them in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put them in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. I will say arigatou gozaimasu and I will see you all in the next video.